Hey guys, it's Juan again from Physique Transformation Academy, and today I want to chat about how to properly rebound after a show being a natural athlete. This past weekend that just happened was the 2025 Canadian Physique Alliance Natural Pro Qualifier. A lot of great athletes in there, a lot of people with so much potential, and what really amazed me was the level of conditioning of a lot of these physiques and just development. To see that natural physiques have come so far is unbelievable. So, how do we properly rebound to gain the most amount of muscle possible, keep the body fat low, look great, feel great, be healthy, and be able to progress enough that next year you can be an even better bodybuilder with more muscle mass, better condition, and just overall better symmetry? One of the biggest mistakes that I see competitors, natural competitors, making is taking the approach that open competitors will, that maybe will maximize their muscle mass and putting it into their own training regime. For example, an open competitor could benefit from certain things like increasing calories a lot more drastically post-show. Maybe cheat meals won't hit him as hard. Maybe we focus on, okay, I'm gonna blast this specific body part with a lot more volume, and I'm gonna really focus on bringing this specific body part over the next 6 to 8 weeks as I increase PEDs to a certain dose. These are all strategies that could help an open competitor get better and actually gain a good amount of muscle mass in a short time frame. These things are not going to be what the natural competitor wants to necessarily do. So let's start off with, you compete. Number one, take a few days off the gym. Clear your mind, focus on what happened, enjoy your family, friends, and enjoy the show, enjoy some extra foods. I believe in giving clients, obviously, the Saturday night after a show and the entire Sunday to eat whatever they want. I don't care what it is. Eat whatever you want. Obviously, within moderation, you don't want to be puking in at the hospital. Come Monday, though, I do expect them to get back on track. I don't necessarily give them a diet to follow that day. I don't expect them to start following a specific diet on the Monday unless they really want to. Typically, they're going to be so full from Sunday and Saturday that they're going to want to go back to their previous meal plan and do a low day or even eat less than a low day. So maybe let's say that they were eating 2,000 calories on their low days before the show. We might only get 1,200 calories in that day. Why? Because you've had thousands and thousands of extra calories that weekend. You do a low day on the Monday, you're still off the gym. Tuesday, your appetite starts picking up a little bit. Maybe you do a normal training day or low day again. And then by Wednesday, I tell them you can get back to the gym. So you've taken a few days off the gym, you've rested, you've gotten some extra sleep, you've gotten a lot of cravings out of the way, and now you're eager to get back to the gym, you're excited to get back in the gym and grow. What do we do from this point? Initially, I start with an increase in calories. Now, that's going to be different for each person. That increase in calories is going to totally depend on a fine line between I want to gain some body weight at a slow rate, and for a natural competitor, I suggest no more than 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds a month. So it's going to be a very gradual increase. But at the same time, we don't want that person to be absolutely starving. Not because I care that the person is starving. In a perfect world, that wouldn't even matter. We focus on results. But if that person is constantly starving, it's going to lead them to eventually binge and cheat on their diet. So now we're following this yo-yo effect of we restrict, we binge, now we have to restrict for a few days to see the weight come down, but it sticks, and then they binge again, and it's just this constant cycle. So this is going to be different for each competitor. Typically, in a perfect scenario, we literally climb back up to maintenance and maybe like an extra 200 to 300 calories over maintenance. Typically, what we would do on peak week would be a more maintenance type diet. So we increase 200 to 300 calories based upon that, based off carbohydrates primarily. Most of my diets consist of fairly low fat for most people. So we increase calories to that. From there, training wise, what does training look like? Let me preface something with the diet as well. So a natural competitor, they're gonna need a certain amount of fats for their natural hormonal production. So it depends how low we've gone on fats. I tend to increase fats to a certain level. Not too much though. I specifically want to bring women up to at least 40 to 45 grams of fat a day. A male, 50 to 60 grams of fat a day. And then from there, we start jacking up the carbs. Now, training-wise, what are we doing training-wise? Training-wise, most natural competitors, I think 5 days a week is going to be too much to be in the gym unless you have more of a bro split type split or in some specific scenarios where I know that specific individual's recovery capabilities and how they can work. So we focus on being in the gym an average of 3 to 4 days a week, at least the first few weeks post-show, but we focus on hitting big body parts every time and focus on bringing the strength back up that perhaps that person might have lost during the prep. We focus on majorly bringing up squats, deadlifts, presses, rows. That's going to be the main focus. Not a lot of fluff exercises, not a lot of single arm bicep curls or tricep push downs. No. We focus on bringing the big exercises in and hammering them as we bring the strength back up in a progressive overload style, which is going to be the best style for a natural competitor. You want to get big, you got to get strong. Now, strength is not always number one, and you can watch my video on the 4 pillars of training and what's going to make you progress. But what matters is the progression in strength, leaving all variables the same on your execution and placing tension on that muscle. So from there, let's say let's say you're trying to really bring your legs up. An upper lower split is one of the best things you can do post show. Upper, lower, off, upper, off, lower, off. Repeat. Let's say you are trying to bring up maybe chest, shoulders, and triceps a lot more. Well, maybe push, pull, legs, push type of split. You can do that over the next few weeks. Maybe let's say you're trying to bring your arms up. Okay, to bring arms up, maybe an upper lower, we're hitting biceps hard on the lower day, and then we do a more tricep focused pressing and tricep focused like push downs and such on the upper day, as opposed to maybe focusing so much on chest or shoulders. So you want to focus on those weak points for that specific person. For the natural competitor, supplements, pretty basic. We continue sticking to our basic health supplements: magnesium, greens, vitamin C, a fish oil or omega-3 supplement. Creatine is going to be one of the best things you can take for a natural competitor. I focus heavily on sleep supplements. If you're not getting good quality sleep, GABA, melatonin, theanine, things that are going to help you wind down before bed and get deeper quality sleep. And also, for some people, maybe they're suffering from some sort of intestinal issue or some sort of digestive issue, we could use things like glutamine or some specific probiotics. Now, that's in terms of training, diet, supplementation. Now, what do we do in terms of cheat meals? Honestly, as the years go by, I do not believe in cheat meals. You want to be a great competitor, you want to have, a great physique and your goal is to turn pro, you cannot be doing cheat meals every week. There's some individuals that can get away with it. As a natural competitor, if you start hitting cheat meals every week, they're going to become a multiple times a week type thing, and then they're getting 2 to 3 pounds of weight a week. And oftentimes this weight will stick. So let's say you're 180 by the end of the week. You have a cheat meal, goes up to 183. Let's say by next week, that 183 didn't go down. You just stuck to 183. And then you have another cheat meal. Now you're up to 185. That didn't go down. So you want to be really, really careful with this. Now, from time to time, I understand having a cheat meal every few weeks or every few months. You want to go out for an anniversary party, a birthday party, whatever it may be. Not a huge deal. Try to eat within moderation. Or the other thing is, sometimes a weekly cheat meal for somebody that's homemade and macro-based can actually work. So instead of ordering this super dirty, cheesy pizza, maybe you make homemade pizza at home with some low-fat cheese, some turkey pepperoni, and within moderation. Try it, see how you react, assess from there. If you can manage to do something similar, maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe once a week. But it all depends on the individual. And it's all about closely monitoring the progress and how things look through time to see how well you're progressing. Now, what about mindset and posing? Posing. I believe in posing year-round. Pose at least 5 times a week. That's going to be super important in my opinion, at least on training days. I wake up every morning and I pose year-round. That's what's going to make you a great competitor, going through 2 rounds. It's going to be hardest for bodybuilders because they have 8 different poses to hit. But if you're a figure competitor, if you're a men's physique, a classic competitor, pretend you're on stage, hit 2 rounds every single morning, or again, at least on training days. I would do it in a fasted state, and I would also do your vacuums at the same time. That's something else that I highly recommend doing year-round. Lastly, mindset. Treat your off season like it's prep. This is going to be so important. So many people don't take the off season seriously. They start slacking off. They stop logging their lifts. They stop using the progressive overload approach. They just kind of, I feel like training this today. I feel like training that today. They're not following their diet closely anymore because their mindset's not there. They go to the gym like, I'm kind of tired. I'm going to take it light today. If you have this mindset, you will not progress much. Maybe if you have good genetics, you might progress a little bit, but you're never going to progress to maximize your potential. So focus on keeping your mind focused, keeping your eyes on the goal. And if you really want this, if you want that pro card, if you want to do really, really well at your next show, you're going to treat every single day like it's an opportunity to get better and for you to get back on stage in the best shape of your life. If you guys need any help with this, feel free to message me at physiquetacademy@gmail.com or message me on Instagram or here on YouTube. I'd love to help you out. And if you want some serious coaching, you can also apply to my coaching program at physiquetacademy.com.